let's go ahead and get started today. Today is your straightforward agent website 101. And the concept behind this class is that I will be going over the agent default website and all that's in it. I'm going to cover how to use subpages and create new content. And I'm also going to go over the actual menu and how to add pages to your menu and move pages within your menu. So do not be afraid to take yourself off mute if you've got a question, and just kind of follow along. And what I'm going to do is after I cover all the topics that we have, afterwards we can go over to 101 items that you may have run into your website as well. So the first thing to note to get to your agent website is to go through My H&R Office. And in this window, you're going to drop down the hamburger and go to CRM website. Okay. In this drop down, you'll notice you have a website and you have your Rev CRM. So if you want to know to get to your CRM, you can also go through your agent website. Okay. So after you click on website, you are going to end up on this page. This is your one-stop shop to all things your website. Okay. Let's start off with the very first item that I would love for y'all to look at. At the very top where your headshot should be, not the Harry Norman logo, when you click on this, you can click on profile. Okay, your profile here is being fed from My H&R Office. So note this, the information that's being fed to your profile on your agent website is being pulled in from My H&R Office. So if you are missing social medias, or if there's any information that is off here, either your staff member will need to make the edit from My H&R Office on your behalf, or you might need to put in a ticket with tech support to update this information. Now, I will suggest if you have an idea of adding a bunch of social medias to your site, put all your handles into one email and send that to tech support. Get it all at once. The one thing that you can change in your profile is at the very, very bottom though. So if you scroll to the very bottom of this page, you'll notice that there are communities. Now, each office has a set of default communities that are tied to the office, and they may not fit for what your demographic is and what communities you actually work, but it gives you a starting point. So for instance, if you're in the in-town office, you will have communities that surround in-town. If you're in the Marietta office, you'll have the communities that surround Marietta. The one thing that you can do is you can remove them. You can drag the order of priority. You can hit the drop down and change them to whatever you'd like by selecting the community you want. Also, you can add a brand new community right here out of the 50. I think there's 51 communities that are originally on our site. So if you have, for instance, I may work in Marietta, but I also work, in Cumming as well. I could add Cumming to my communities. After you've added that community, you're going to click save. It says your edits were saved successfully. So the reason why I'm showing you this in your profile is on the actual agent website default at the very, very bottom, one of the elements that you can turn on is communities. And it will flip through all the communities that you personally work. It's a nice feature. All right. So before I move into the agent website default, does anybody have any questions? Anything that you were curious about, information coming over, anything like that? Okay. Perfect. So I'm going to go scroll up to the top. I'm going to go and hit the home, my dashboard, which is your main window. And I am going to go over with you the new agent default website. Here it is. Okay. To explain the way this is built, it's in elements. So they're stackable elements that make up your website. And you can turn them on and you can turn them off, so you can hide them. You can also make some edits to them that'll make your website more robust. So this is your standard agent website. You'll notice at the very top, you have a logo, the Harry Norman logo, and you have your name next to it. The reason why this is so important is this is an SEO search criteria. So this text right here is heavily searched in SEO. Everybody always asks, why is my name right there? It's because it's a heavy search item. If you have a personal brand or a logo, it can be added right here next to the Harry Norman logo in what's called a logo lock. So it's Harry Norman, a line, and your personal logo next to it.
Drew, how'd you get to that page? I'm trying, I don't know how to split these screens to go between you.
Oh, no, just follow along with me and you and I can go over your site at the end of it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So what we're looking at right now is the most basic form of the agent website. Hasn't been altered, edited. It just has all of the elements turned on so you can see it. That's all. This is just an example. So if you have a logo that you would like to incorporate into your header, make sure your marketing coordinator knows this needs to be applied. They have instructions on how to do a logo lockdown or lockup. Okay. Next, you will notice that something we didn't truly have in our previous website, unless you had a super theme, we have a full-blown navigation that has been added to your agent website. And this can be changed to anything. One thing you will notice, these are the 5 defaults that the agent has, or the company has contributed to your website. You can choose to use it or not use it. But it's the buy page, the sell page, luxury, your bio, and contact. Contact is a form for lead capture. Bio is interesting. I get a lot of questions about the bio. The bio is like your previous website's profile. It has your solds, your listings, has your testimonials all in one place. It's kind of like your one-stop shop before you get to your agent's website. So you can use it in different ways. I've had a few people that keep the bio page and they just change the word instead of bio to be testimonials because they want people to see their testimonials. Currently, the agent website does not have a true testimonial page yet. The reason why is we're still working on a feed to one of our testimonial sites. So right now, the bio is the only place where you can truly see your testimonials for now. That's a question I get a lot. Okay, so we're making our way down. The top part is your theme photo, which you can change. You also have your text here, which is 2 lines of text that you can change as well to something that makes more sense for you. So for instance, if I work in the Marietta office and I work on, say I sell historic homes, your Marietta, historic home specialist or something like that, I can feed into my text. You also have a search line that's incorporated into your theme photo. As you scroll down further, you'll notice that there's the first section of text, which is called your about. Now, you can use this in any way you'd like. You can add more text, you can change the header title, whatever you need to do, or you can even hide this if it's not something you want to incorporate in your site. But it is the first time in your agent website where an action is happening. See the background image or background color? It's shifting. That is a new action on your website. You will see more of these on other pages as well. If you go further down, you will have the featured listings section. Now, if you have listings, it'll populate here as your featured listings by default. If you do not have listings, it will pull in the listings from your office. You can make changes to this. There are some edits to this that you can make, or you can just hide it altogether. I had someone just last week who they have a listing, which is this property in North Georgia. It's nothing to write home about, so he just wanted it hidden. Totally understand. He says he wants to turn it back on when he gets something a little bit worth showing. So you can hide it. As I scroll down, you'll notice that there are called call outs. In this section, you have 3. You can use 1, you can use 2, you can use 3. It's up to you. The default that's here is the text for buying your home, selling your home, and luxury. The images can be changed, and you can change the link and text as well to be whatever you'd like. It's a feature if you want to use it. Scroll down, see selling your home. These all go to the company shared pages for buying, selling, and luxury. So even if you did literally nothing, your site is a full-blown website. One of the last features is that what we were talking about in your profile is your featured communities. So you'll notice I have the Buckhead, the Marietta, and I could have many more. I can change the background image, and I can do some slight edits, but mostly it's pulling the communities in that show what I work. Oh, I have a feature turned off. Well, I'll show it in a second, but there's supposed to be a feature right here. Here, I don't want y'all to not see this feature, so give me one hot second. I'm gonna turn on something real quick. I guess I hid these the other day. Hold for 1 minute. Okay, let me refresh my window. Okay, so we missed one section right here. This may not seem like a whole lot, but it's just above the featured communities. This is your open editor. So if you work with a web developer or just happen to know HTML and CSS like I do, you can literally write in anything in this section. I know someone who's literally writing their website in code right now and hiding all the other elements. So this website is extremely advanced if you would like for it to be. It's up to you if you want to use this section. I'll show you where it is, but it's your default editor. So, or advanced editor, excuse me, advanced editor. Scroll down a little bit further, you have 2 extra optional callouts. These can be literally anything you'd like. I've seen people use them for, schools. They have it linked to greatschools.org. They have them linked to calendars of events in their area. I've got some people who have it sent to schools and their their organizations that they're a part of. You can use them for just about anything, and you can change the text and image and link to whatever you would like. Last thing is this bottom part, the footer, is built into every agent website. It is a call to action. It is a lead capture item, and it's for contact me, which is a form, and also a sign up for newsletter, which is a push to our KV core. Lastly, we have a contact form and all the information for you and your office that make you GREC compliant. So this is an agent website with everything turned on. Do I have any questions about the look, the feel, what you can turn on, turn off, what you can change? It is a very universal, but it's a great design for whatever you need it to be. Okay. Now, so we've covered the design, we've covered the profile where you can change your communities. The next thing is to go into the design itself and make some changes. Okay, so I'm going to take this very slowly as I go through the editor. So back to my main dashboard. Okay, like I told you, I got here through my H&R Office. I went to the hamburger and went to website, which brought me here. To make changes to my design, under Site Builder, Collections, Site Editor. Site Editor. Now, if y'all are kind of worried that you're not going to remember this video will be added to YouTube literally right after this class. Okay, so I'm going to make changes to my homepage of my agent website. Okay, so I'm going to click on Site Editor, which brings up my design to make edits. Okay. On your left side, you do not need to worry about the website settings. You'll have to make changes through homepage and navigation to change your website. So let's start with the homepage. Okay. So as I was talking about earlier, this website is made up of elements. kind of like blocks of Legos, right? Each element stacks on top of the other. And you can change this on the left side. So the very first item I want to cover is your SEO settings. Now, some people will completely bypass this. I recommend you not bypass this. This is an easy opportunity to increase your search in the web. Okay. We have generic default text here, but it's not going to match all of y'all's demographic and what you work. So the opening statement is, your name specializes in Metro Atlanta real estate, blah, blah, blah. If I'm doing this, I'm changing it to my area. I'm changing Metro Atlanta to Marietta. I might even slip in Kennesaw and East Cobb just to hit those keywords. In my keywords, I'm also going to do the same. I'm going to add keywords to Marietta Square, East Cobb, Roswell, but I'm going to put commas between. So like, for instance, here, comma, Roswell, because I want to grab that low-hanging fruit that I always talk about, search criteria words. It may be a low percentage on SEO, but I want to get it. So take the time, go into your settings. I have yet to figure out what the cap is on these, so I would push it as far as I possibly could if I was you. I would write until it tells me I can't.
Drew,
Okay? Yes.
question on keywords. Does it have to be cities, or can we do for sale, real estate? Is it just?
Lori, that's a great question. You should grab any keyword that will help you be found in your community. Like, for instance, if I was doing this, I would put city, county, landmarkers, Kennesaw National Park, the Strand, like all the major places around me, including schools too, because schools are a heavy searched item. I want to get found on those criterias. What you have here currently, Atlanta Realtor, houses for sale, those are kind of like your broad terms that relate you to real estate, right? But what they don't do is they don't direct you towards your community and what you sell and how people are going to find you. So stack more on top of that, that'll help you be found in your area. There is no bad answer for keywords. You just want to increase your odds. All right, so easy, low-hanging fruit, SEO settings. Next, color. You can make changes to your color on your website. Now, what I will tell you is you've got two colors here. You have your primary, which is our Harry Norman brown, and you have our beige. The mushroom is what they call it, mushroom color. These can be changed. The color brown, you can tell, is being assigned to certain items of your website. So for instance, the block on top of your theme photo, and as you scroll down, even the block behind your about, it's found on your callouts. So where that color is being used is what this color is assigned to. So if you make changes, for instance, I changed this brown to maybe a soft green or something like that, or a seafoam color that matches my brand and my style, it's going to be assigned to an element. So test it out. If you ever forget what our colors are, we have brand standards in the cloud you can go back to, but yes, you can change the color on your website. The Harry Norman logo is always going to be prominent at the top, so people will know you're an agent. So if you do this, don't be afraid to try something different. All right, the next item is your hero mobile image. So if you have a picture in your hero image, it will be classified for your mobile device as well. Okay, so if you put like, for instance, this image right here in the background, it'll show up on your mobile device. But if you would like for there to be a different image for mobile rather than what you're seeing on your desktop, you can input a new image in its place if you feel like that needs to be done. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my hero image here. When you click on the hero image feature, you'll notice there's a hero image button here.
Drew, another quick question.
Of course.
What is hero?
Here, let me turn you up.
What what does hero mean?
This image right here at the very top is considered your hero image.
Oh, just your main,
Yeah, your main image.
okay.
They use all kinds of terms, hero, theme, banner. I've heard
Okay,
everything.
You just dressing it
I
up.
know.
Got it.
I've heard it so fluidly because I've used it so often. I'm like, oh yeah. But yes, this is your hero image, your top large image of your website. And it can be changed. So I've clicked on the hero image for the browser version. And I'm going to click on hero image so that I can change. Scott Bennett's out here. So this option to change an image is for all items that have an image in place. So the same process happens. You click on to change the image and this window will populate. You have 3 different areas where you can get images to replace your current image. You can take it from their stock image account. See these 3 right here? Stock image, which there are tons of options here to select from. And not just that, these images, see how they're in sections? See where it says city, series, Atlanta? There's also show more options at the bottom right that add even more pictures on. Mine's loading kind of slow. Of course. I'm gonna have to refresh my window. Yeah, it's just loading slow. But each section has a show more where you'll see even more images on that category. So this is their supply of stock photos, and you have permission to use them. Michelle, did you have a quick question? Oh, sorry. I thought I saw her take herself off mute. Also,
Sorry, no.
oh, okay. We have such a small group. I want this to be intimate, you know? So, company images. So, let's see, this is even loading slow as well. You'll notice that the partner services office is loading in a ton of our pictures that we have on the cloud that we have downloaded over time. And we'll be adding more and more images as we go. So it's like our supply of photos that are being loaded in. So stock images from Reliance, company images from Harry Norman, and the last one is my images. Yeah, I need to refresh my window. Here, let's try this.
Drew, another question while you're waiting.
Please.
Can we download those photos to use for some of our marketing? Or is that just from the website?
Well, it's the ones from Reliance are their supply of images that they have paid for copyrights.
So we can only use them on the website.
Yes, for this particular,
right.
yeah, their
Okay.
stock photos are their stock photos.
Okay.
Yeah, but the company images, see, I don't know why this is loading so slow. That stinks. I wanted to show y'all. The company images are on the cloud. So if whatever you see in the company images, they're going to be on our stock images folder on the cloud. So you can use those. I don't know why they're loading so slow. Oh well. In the My Images section, you can add your very own image that you may have taken or you had a professional photographer take or whatever. You can add your photo here. You click the add image. You would choose file. Let's see if I have a banner image somewhere. Let's see here. Let me take this one. So say I want to load in this Adobe image that I have. It's going to be a banner, which you can add a new category if you'd like to kind of segment your images. You agree to terms that it's your image and you have the rights to it, and you save your image. What this will do is it will save the image into that gallery, that supply of images, so you can go back and use it whenever you would like to. Partner Services internet is slow today. Good morning, Hicks. All right, so what I just did was I added image and it's loaded into my gallery now. So I'm going to go back to hero image, and see, I can't see because it's slowed, but I'm going to select this one and hit. So what I did was I selected it and I select image, which will apply the image to my site. So now you see I have a new image in the background for my hero image. But it wasn't as fluid as I would have liked, but click on hero image again. I can use a stock image if I'd like. Let me grab one of the Atlanta ones. Say I want to grab this one. I just select it, which you can tell has added a drop shadow to it that I've selected it. And I hit select image and it will apply this image to the hero here. Well, something's running slow today. I think it's just, maybe it's the site that's going slow today. Well, they applied that one quickly. Oh, well. But yes, you can switch out the hero image. All right, so the next item is your hero video. Now this one's a little different. If you put a hero video in here, it will replace your theme photo at the top with the short video that you have uploaded to something like YouTube or Vimeo. It needs to be housed somewhere for you to use a video, because you're going to drop in your embed video link to make it drop, for it to land right here. If you're having problems with the video, reach out to Rita Yukata with IT. She can help you get the video where it needs to go so that you can watch it. If you paid for a video, or if you have a great video, take advantage of this space. I know maybe 3 or 4 agents who use videos on our previous site. All right, so the next item is your Hero Text 1. So Hero Text 1 is this first line of text within your bar on your theme photo. Okay, so like I said before, if you're trying to change it to a message that makes sense for you, do so here. Because you can say, for instance, your historic Marietta homes, and then my bottom line could be specialist if I wanted. So you can break up what your message is about what you are and what you sell. Easy enough to do. You just click down on the bar and you can change your text just like Word. You can also change the font size, make it bold, italic, anything you'd like. Very easy to work with. Once again, text 2, exceptional here, can be changed as well. Same thing, click on this text box and you can make changes to it. So the 2 items that you will not be changing are your hero image, which is hidden, and your hero quick search. So your search bar and your image. The reason why is your headshot's being fed in through my H&R Office, so that you can't mess this up. We have them fed in. It's a checkbox for you. Next item, your about. So your about is your first real true item that you can put in text about yourself, like where you can really put a bio in. This is where I would recommend putting an introduction to yourself. You know, Drew Burr, your local Savannah real estate specialist, focuses on the Tybee Island and Wilmington Island sector. I don't know, but you can really hit on some major keywords in this short section. I wouldn't recommend putting a huge bio. I would probably just have an introduction statement here. If you use this, once again, every item can be hidden if you'd like. So for instance, if I choose not to use this about section, I can hit the hide button. And when I publish, this will be gone. You know what? Let's go ahead and publish. I want to refresh this. All right. So now you can see the about section is now gone. So whatever feature you want to use or don't want to use, you can turn on and turn off. Next feature, listings. So in the featured listing section, as we talked about before, if you have a listing, it'll populate here. If you do not have a listing, the default sets it for the listings that are in your office. So it basically benefits your whole office because you'll have visibility to it. Also shows that you're working. So those are the 2 checkboxes. Once again, if you do not want this, you can hide it. There are some settings you can change on this. So I'm clicking on the featured listing section, the element, featured settings. I can also change the settings, the text above it, featured listings, view all listings if you want to say something a little different. Featured settings. Here are some of the options you have for this. Display my listings, my office's listings. If you have one list, like for instance, what I was telling you before, the guy had a land he wasn't very proud of. He wanted something a little bit more. He turned on the my office's listing and it showed the listings in his office instead. Multiple office listings, listings where I specified the MLS agent ID, listings where I specified listing number. I've seen one other person use the MLS agent ID because they worked as a team, but they weren't truly a team. So she just incorporated her teammates' listings onto her site. Also, you can determine what the type of property is, also listed as, and also you can set a min and max price, which I know a few people are doing that just because of the visibility, like land or leases. So you can turn on the features that you want with this. And what else do I have? Oh yeah, you can also do the sorting of the listings as well from high to low or newest to old. After you do this, you hit save. And your featured listings will be in place the way you want them. All right. So your next items are your call outs. So currently you have 3 call outs, call out 1, 2, and 3. 1, the default is buying your home, which links to the buying page on the Harry Norman website. 2nd is selling, which has text and links to the selling page on our site. And the 3rd is luxury. If you don't work in a luxury market, you can just as easily come to call out 3 and just hide it. You can hide that call out, or you can change it to something that makes more sense to you. I'm born and raised in Savannah, so I'd probably maybe even do a featured page on beachfront properties. So you have options. Once again, the color will change based on if you changed your color settings at the top. Okay, images. If you click on the call out one, you can switch out the text and you can also replace the image with something that makes more sense for you. Being from Savannah, I'd probably have a lot more porch or intercoastal photos that would fit that mold for what I work. Okay, scroll down a little bit further past your call outs. You'll notice your next item here is my favorite part, may not be for anybody else. It is your content window. And as I told you before, you have an advanced editor here. So turn on the page editor and you have, this is your forward facing version of this, but you can also switch it over to HTML. So if you got a wild hair or you know someone who is a web designer developer, maybe reach out to them. They can add a lot more substantialness or make this more substantial for you. If not, you can start adding text all you'd like. It's very simple. You can also add video here, use the insert video media option. It's a pretty cool option if you want to give that a shot. Personally, I would write my whole website in that section just because it's very free form for me. If you don't want to use it, once again, you can hide it. The next item is your communities here. If you'd like to turn it off, turn it off. You can change the image behind the featured communities to something that makes more sense. It is zoomed in, so the picture you probably want the picture to be a little basic. You can change what the title is from featured communities and all neighborhoods, but really it is what it is based on your profile. And last but not least, at the very bottom, you have your optional callouts. As I told you before, these can be anything. And I'm about to show y'all how to create sub pages or content pages, which could easily be what the 2 items here you add to the front. You can use 1 or you can use 2 of these callouts. If you use 1, it's an image and this brown section, the back bar stretches across the screen if that's what you use. You can change the title, the description, and then you would set where this page goes to. So for instance, if I wanted to change this to schools, change the image to a school bus or something like that, put in my description about schools and set this for, let's see. Oops. Set this for greatschools.org. Now I have this page that will link to going to, the school ratings page. Just an option. All right, and then you have the second one to take advantage of. Well, last is your lead capture item, which is a contact form and a sign up for newsletter, and your final information at the bottom. So what I want to recommend to the agents in this class, go into your editor, make some slight changes, and see what it looks like. I'd drop in a new theme photo that makes sense for your market. I'd also change out text to use keywords about yourself. Just go down the different elements and see where things fit for you. After you've made any change and you want it visible on your site, you have to click the Publish Home option, which will make it live. Now, one major thing. If you do not like what you have created and you want to revert back to your previous website or what it originally was, at the top right, there is a past versions option, and you can revert back to your previous website. So you can drop back to where you started. So for instance, I started right here on the 7th. I can, are you sure you want to change to this version? I say, okay. And it's going to revert back to what my original website looked like. So nothing is stuck. To make this visible online, I've published home. I say, okay. And now, whoops, it's back. It looks the same, yeah. I just reverted back to the previous version. So playing in this is very easy. All of these options are easy to turn on and turn off and use. Do I have any questions before I move into creating subpages and content?
Drew, yes, sorry.
Don't apologize, it's great.
So different topic, but is this, and maybe we're not going to learn this today, does this, can we set up auto searches from this website, like connect it to FMLS, set up auto searches and alert them through our website, or can we not do that?
I'm not covering that right now on this.
Okay.
But there is a way to set up saved searches. It's not what I'm covering today.
Okay, all right.
More to come. All right. All right, so let's move into creating subpages. So to get to where we were just at was site editor. Okay, site builder, collections, site editor, you can make all your changes here. When it comes to interior pages and content pages, you're going to click on your interior pages option. Okay, so when you get to this window, these are the pages that are currently found on your site and you can use if you'd like. Okay, I've tried to make a few different things. I tried to make a testimonials page where I pasted in the testimonials that I had from QSC as just as a temporary until that page is finished. But simply enough, you're going to click on the add button here. And here are the 9 different ways to make a content page. You have a lead form, you've got features, you've got all kinds of options to create a page of content. Okay. The easiest thing you can do to get started, say for instance, I want to incorporate a link to an external site on my website. So say for instance, I want to make a link at the top of my navigation right here. Go to greatschools.org. Okay, so up here at the top where it says link, I click on this. I'll have to title it. I might have this one, but oh yeah, I do. School, we'll just do school rating. And I create the link as a feature on my site. So this is creating a link to a different website that that I can use on mine. I hit create. Now, if you scroll down, I have school rating right here. That's an example I use a lot. So I can use this on my agent website. Oops. Bumping stuff here. There you go. Another option is I can create a page of content to use on my website. So if I click on the add option, you'll see where it says page here. Say I name it something like historic homes. And for the layout category, I'm going to use text and image. When I use text and image, you'll see there are a whole bunch of templates to make a page on my website. The one that I really want to point out to you is the Harry Norman template. The Harry Norman template is what single-handedly created every single page of our website. Every page, the buying page, the selling page, the luxury page, our family of services, everything. The reason why is it has all of these, once again, elements stacked on top of each other that allow you to make a different style for every page. So why not use it, right? You can't break it. So something to consider, make a sub page, hit the add button, drop in the Harry Norman template and try to mess it up. It's very hard to mess up. I'm going to hit create page. Okay. So here's my page. I have historic homes that I use the Harry Norman template to create. So I want to make a page of content, right? I'm going to hit the edit button. And I'm going to show you what this template looks like. So over here, you'll see the agent Harry Norman template. And it has several elements to it that I can turn on and turn off based on my needs. So first things first, interior pages. Here are all of the elements for this particular template. And I may not even use half of these. I could just use one or two of them. But they're different forms of dropping in content, like text with image next to it or text on top of an image with a fade on it. They have different options to make different pages. So you can use, all of them. So the first thing I would do, since I'm making a page of content about historic homes, I'm going to change my hero image, that big image at the top, your theme photo, to something a little bit more subject oriented. So I'm going to scroll down to the Atlanta one. And I could probably find a better historic, but let's just go with this. I'm just going to select my image, select image, image drops in. So I could have a hero image for every page of content I create. Next, header text. This is going to be my historic homes page. Page of content. Okay. The next items are my tabs. So the tab is kind of easy enough. It's a link. So I have body links here that I can use for anything. So for instance, if I wanted to, and like we were talking, a save search, if I wanted to make a save search for historic homes in Savannah, I could set up a search and assign it to this link later on. That is an option. I'm just not covering that all today. So say I don't want to use these tabs. I want to clean up this page. I'm just going to go ahead and hide my tabs just by clicking the hide option. And also I've got stat callouts here. I'm not doing stats on this site. And the odds that you'll use stats are very rare. It's like a ticker for certain numbers, like we do on the luxury page. Okay, so I've hit a few things. I'm gonna go ahead and hit publish so I can see what this looks like. All right, so now my page has a hero image, text on it. My content one is turned on. And here's some of my footer items that I can change up as well that I'll probably hide maybe since it's content. But next option, I'm gonna scroll down, Content 1 is my next item that's turned on. So right now I can write in my content right here, or I can use another option. So say, for instance, okay, and let me just put in some text here. Okay. I just want to show you how this fills in. And maybe at the top here, I'm going to give myself an extra space so it's not so close to the title. So I put in some content, my content 1. Next, I can put in a button if I'd like. You can turn in a content 1 button so it goes somewhere else if you'd like. Or you can start using one of the other elements to fill in this page. So you have a large call out 1. So let's see, let me turn this on so you can see what this looks like. I'm going to drop in an image. That's fine. Okay. Once again, I'm going to drop in some text. Tybee Island. And say, for instance, I put in one of my pages of content or something like that. Historic Tybee. All right, so this is another one. I'm going to hit publish so you can see what that item looks like. And now I have another section of content on this page. So basically, if you turn it on, you unhide it, you use it, and it'll determine what you want to put inside of it. So these look different. Advanced Editor is literally HTML, so the odds that you'll use it may not be there. But you have Content 2, which is just like this white text. You have a large call out 2 again, just like this, where there's text over an image. And the other one that looks a good bit different would be this one right here, the text image call out. So that's where text is on your left, and you have a large image on your right. So one thing that you could do is you could use this template and turn on all of the elements to see how they look and see which ones you would like to use. They all look great. You've also got some call outs, which y'all know what a call out is. They could be 4 call outs right next to each other, or they can be like something like this, where there's a call out with an image and text next to it. So give them a shot, see which call outs, which items you want to use. But this is the Harry Norman layout template, and it's great for making content. Like I said, you could use just one of these sections, and that's plenty for what you're trying to create. I'm going to hit publish again to make sure everything's locked up. All right, quick recap. We went to Site Builder, Collections, we went to Interior Pages. Then on the far left where it says Add, we added a page of content. You can make a link to an outside website, or you can make your own page of content right here. When I clicked on this, I named it and I selected text and image. Okay. In the text and image section, you will see that there's a Harry Norman template. The reason why I'm recommending it, it has so much to it, and you can gain so much from using the different elements. You could make tons of pages of content that all look unique. Okay, so I've been making content. Do I have any questions about subpages or anything that y'all are trying to do that I could help you with? A little quiet, that's okay. All right, so what we've worked on today is you can change your agent default website by going to Site Builder, Collections, Site Editor. You can change your website, add new images, put in new text, change colors, turn on and turn off any feature you'd like. Next, we created interior pages, our subpages. So it's content. The only purpose behind a website is content. That's where the value is. Next, we need to put these pages of content on your menu or your navigation. So to do this, I'm going to go to Site Editor again, because I'm changing my home page. But this time I'm going to the Navigation and Interior pages. When I click here, I'm going to click Edit Navigation. This right here is what I'm changing. I want to add some items to my navigation. Okay. Probably the most exciting part of this new agent website is this navigation system. I love how it works. It has everything that I would need in a navigation. So when we first come onto your agent website, you'll notice that you have some default items here for you to work with. And it's up to you if you want to keep them or not. But what you can do is you can come over here to all, and you will see all of those pages of content that I have been working on. And what I want to do is I want to bring them over to my main navigation. So just like what I just created, I created a historic homes page. I'm going to select it by clicking the checkbox next to the name, and I'm going to click the button that says Add to Navigation. And now you'll see my historic homes has been added on. Okay, so I'm going to hit Publish. Say okay. I'm going to hit refresh because I want to see my site. Historic homes is now on my navigation. Just as easy as that. Okay. If I want to add more, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click Family of Services. Say I have a mortgage calculator, marketing page I've created, my solds. Let's see, what else do I have? Feature properties. I just add all of these to my navigation. Okay. So these are all primary items on my navigation, right? All these are primary. One thing that's different about this site compared to your previous agent website, you can add what's called navigation titles. Okay. So this is that top line where you have subpages underneath it on a menu. So I hit Create Navigation Title, and say, for instance, I put my about. I'm going to use about. Okay, so this will be my top line on my navigation. I hit Create Title, and now I have about right here, and it says drop down items, drop nav items here. So I have a main title. I'm going to drop items in here to be underneath about. So I'm going to move my feature properties underneath my about just by clicking and dragging and dropping. After I do this, I'm going to hit Publish so you can see where it stands. Okay, so refresh. Here it is. Under About, you will see I have featured properties. It's very simple to work with. Once again, I'm going to go back to editing my navigation. Say, for instance, I want to add more items under my About. I'm just going to drag the items underneath and just put them inside. Okay. Say I also want to move my bio in there. I'm just dragging and dropping it under my Create Navigation title. Publish navigation, say okay. Let's look back at my window and refresh. And you'll see I have bio, feature properties, and my solds now underneath About. By far one of the easiest navigations I've ever worked with. Edit navigation. Here's all my items again. Say, for instance, instead, I want to put in a selling tab. Create title. Now I have a selling tab. I can move it down here. And in my selling tab, I'm going to drop down and add, for instance, the I'd probably put this with buying, but mortgage calculator drops in, my sell option drops in. Let's see, anything else I'd like. Marketing goes in here. And after I've got all my items under my navigation title, I just publish navigation, say okay. And now my navigation looks more like, oops, didn't stick. Oh, let's try that again. Drop that in there, mortgage calculator. Marketing. Okay. Publish now. There it is. Perfect. So I've got sell, marketing, mortgage calculator under selling. So that's using my nav. Do I have any questions about using this navigation? If you would like to use company-owned property, like from the mother website, under this drop-down right here, you will see company pages as an option. So if you don't have a ton of content that you've created for yourself, you can click on this option, go to all, and you'll notice here are all the subpages in the background of the company website. So for instance, if you would like to have an areas tab where you show the areas you work, I could, for instance, add, let's see, East Cobb, Kennesaw, Marietta, and I say add to navigation. Okay, so now I have my areas here, and I'm using the company pages for those areas. I can create a navigation title called My Communities, just to bring it to the top. Create title. Now I have My Communities as an option, and I'm going to drag in alphabetical order, East Cobb, Kennesaw, Marietta, and then I can move my communities down in my nav. All I'm doing is clicking and dragging. And now I have a My Communities tab on my menu, and I'm going to hit publish. Let's hit refresh. And there's my communities. Area East Cobb, areas Kennesaw, areas Marietta. I know several agents who use these, and I think it's smart. The reason why is your agent website is an SEO driven page. So it's going to search for usages of, for instance, East Cobb, Kennesaw, Marietta. So having it in your navigation is actually a benefit to you. All right. So recap, agent website, you can change it in your editor by going to Site Builder, Collections, Site Editor. To create new content, you will go to Interior Pages. If you are adding items that you've created in Interior Pages to your navigation, you're going to go back to Site Editor, and you're going to select the Navigation and Interiors page or button to add those items to your nav. Okay, do I have any hard questions? Take yourself off mute. I want to hear it. I know Hicks asked a question in the last class. Yes, our Harry Norman website has other layouts for your website. I would not recommend you using them. The reason why is they are standard templates that have not been applied all the things that we've created for Harry Norman. We have added all of these elements, all of these features specifically to the template you have here for the default agent website. So you would lose a lot. Now, I'm not telling you that the default agent website is the stand all. We are going to be creating more templates as we go. In fact, I even know the other three because I was working with them. So if you're not in love with this style of agent website, just note that there will be more coming. Hey, Hicks.
Drew, having tried that, it took me about 10 minutes to revert back to what we had.
Well, you realize, so this agent default was a passion project for me. It really was. When I came to corporate, I started off by creating a page wizard for y'all on the Boston Logic platform. And all the questions that y'all have asked me, you know, search pages, area pages, like call outs, text, navigation, you know, lead capture. I took all these things that I've learned over the 7 years at corporate and I pushed it into this agent default website. Now, there is one thing that I wish they would be able to change, and I know they cannot. I wish they could move the elements around over here on the left side, but I understand why they can't, because they're locking in a ton of code in the background to a section of code. So that's a little bit difficult. But I love the fact that they can turn on and turn off and hide items that they don't want to use. So just be mindful, the agent default website is very robust. It has a lot for you to work with or not work with.